This video will look at the history skill of reliability. Now, reliability pretty much always refers to a source. And to work out if they're reliable, you're kind of working out if they're trustworthy, if they're likely to tell the truth. So the first thing you would do with any source anyway is look at the authorship. So who are they? What are their qualifications? Are they going to potentially have a bias that might make them say one thing? You're also going to think about what is the purpose of the source. So why has it been made? If it's been made to persuade or to sell, then it's probably going to be less reliable. Can you understand why the author made the source? So sometimes it makes sense for an author to say something. So it would make sense for a prime minister to praise his country because he's in charge of it. And therefore, are they likely to tell the truth? And if they are likely to tell the truth, they are reliable. If they're likely to be lying, then they are unreliable. So we'll have a go at looking at reliability altogether. This is based on the authorship, or who has made the source. If they are a reliable source, their information is therefore going to be more useful. But to be reliable, we must find out why they are making a source. However, just a side note, you can be accurate and unreliable. So I can sit here and say running a marathon is hard, even though I've never run a marathon. Therefore, I'd probably be an unreliable author because I've never done what I'm talking about. However, my information is still accurate because it's well known. So just try not to confuse the two. And also, just because someone has certain beliefs doesn't make their source invalid. You'll never find a completely reliable source. It does not exist. So even if you've got someone that doesn't drink alcohol saying alcohol is bad, that doesn't mean their opinion is unreliable because they don't agree with it. It's still useful for telling us what some people think. So I'll show you what that looks like in practice. History is the best subject ever, said by Miss Cox, a history teacher at Open Evening. Now, there's two things there in the authorship that should be drawing your attention. The fact that I am obviously a history teacher and the fact that I am at Open Evening. So at Open Evening, I will be trying to persuade you to do something. And by saying history is the best subject ever, now you can work out for yourself what I'm trying to get you to do. So my question to you is, how reliable is this source to a person choosing their options? So imagine you're about to choose your options, it's middle of year 8. How reliable is my opinion that history is the best subject ever? This source is somewhat reliable. Again, you will never have a completely reliable or a completely unreliable source. Miss Cox is a history teacher, so it makes sense that she is saying this because she herself enjoys history. She is also speaking at an open evening, so she is trying to persuade people to take her subject at GCSE. What Miss Cox says, though, can be accurate as history is one of the most wanted GCSEs by employers according to a Times survey. How reliable is this source? The government has made vast improvements to the country and everyone is better off. And that's spoken by a Prime Minister before an election. So how likely is this man or woman to be telling the truth? And do you think they are reliable? What is their purpose in making this source? And we'll try another one. How reliable is this source? So the Red Menace is real. Report all suspected communist activity. That's a government poster advertising the HUAC, or the House of Un-American Activities Committee, which was an anti-communist campaign to root out communists. So, who is the author? Are they likely to be telling the truth? Does it match what you already know? What is the purpose of the source?